Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. I am so excited to guide you through a truly incredible narrative we've pulled together today. We're going to break down a fascinating story of extreme survival, ingenuity, and karma, a story often known as Tree Kitchen in the Monsoon. This is a profound tale that examines what happens when two vulnerable sisters are pitted against the devastating forces of nature and, honestly, what's even worse, the cruelty of human apathy. So, as we go through the information today, we'll map out their incredible journey from absolute despair to an unbelievable triumph.
Okay, let's dive right into this. The older sister in our story perfectly sets the life-or-death stakes of our explainer today with this powerful quote: "To survive in our battle of life is our biggest victory against society." Think about that for a second. When you're stripped of absolutely everything, simply refusing to give up becomes a revolutionary act. This isn't just a story about weathering a literal storm, it's about weathering a societal one. Let's look at exactly how this incredible battle begins.
We're starting our chronological breakdown with Act 1, the Monsoon Crisis. The inciting incident here is a catastrophic flood.
To really wrap our heads around the desperation of this moment, we have to look at the stark contrast between these two neighbors. On one side, we've got the sisters. Their fragile mud and tin home has been completely washed away by the floodwaters. The younger sister is severely ill, freezing, shivering in the rain, and just pleading for shelter. Now, on the other side, we have their wealthy neighbor, Haradoyle. He's sitting safe and dry inside his highly secure concrete pucka house. But as we see from the source material, Haradoyle lacks even an ounce of empathy. Instead of seeing two freezing, desperate girls, he views them merely as a nuisance, a filthy burden that might bring disease right into his pristine home.
The source text gives us his exact, chilling response. He actually shouts, "Is our house a government shelter? Go die somewhere else." He literally threatens to beat them with a broom if they don't get off his porch. It's just a brutal, harsh rejection. The sisters are turned away, sent right back out into the freezing, rising floodwaters with absolutely zero support. And that brings us to Act 2, the treehouse kitchen. Rejected by society, right? But the older sister absolutely refuses to give up, and this brilliantly illustrates exactly how they managed to survive through sheer, unfiltered ingenuity. Step 1. She scavenges the very floodwaters that destroyed her home, pulling out floating wood and pieces of scrap tin. Step 2. She climbs an ancient, massive banyan tree and constructs a secure platform, basically a makeshift kitchen and shelter high above the raging water. Step 3. She forages for wild vegetables and catches fish swimming in the floodwaters right below them, cooking a hot meal on a makeshift stove. It's an absolute masterclass in utilizing your environment. Which naturally leads us to this profound thematic realization from the older sister. Depending on others makes you a slave, but self-reliance in this tree kitchen brings ultimate happiness. Just take a moment to absorb that. After begging for her sister's life and being treated like an animal, she realizes that true security, it doesn't come from the charity of a wealthy neighbor. It comes from her own two hands.
But, success often breeds envy. Moving right into Act 3, the monkey attack. The rising conflict here comes directly from Haradoyle. He is furious that the sisters survived, and he's super paranoid that if they stay in that tree, they might eventually claim the land. So he plots their downfall. To see the extreme lengths he's willing to go to, just consider this. He seeks out Nathu, a trainer of fierce monkeys, and offers a staggering bribe to have these animals destroy the girl's treehouse. We're talking a $5,000 cash payment, $1,500 upfront as an advance, plus a bonus of a brand new boat. Think about that. Haradoyle wouldn't offer a single drop of warm water to save a dying girl, but he will gladly empty his pockets to fund her destruction. So I've got to pose a question to you. How on earth can two helpless girls, literally trapped in a tree, possibly stop a coordinated attack by a pack of hungry, trained monkeys sent to tear their shelter apart?
Now, what's really interesting about this situation is the incredible irony of their solution. We've got another deep contrast here. Haradoyle weaponized his abundant wealth to inflict harm. The sisters, on the other hand, they weaponized compassion, using their absolute most scarce resource, their food. When the terrifying monkeys arrive, rather than trying to fight them off, the older sister realizes the animals are just hungry. She takes the freshly cooked fish and vegetables they had just prepared for themselves, and she feeds the attacking monkeys. The result is pure brilliance. The monkeys actually become their allies. Well fed and cared for, the monkeys completely ignore their trainer's orders. It turns out a hot meal buys way better loyalty than a cash bribe. Instead of destroying the treehouse, they decide to stick around as loyal protectors, guarding the tree against dangerous flood snakes and, of course, guarding it against Haradoyoil. Compassion totally reversed the threat.
And that perfectly sets the stage for our final act. The climax, justice and karma. So, Haradoyal's frustration completely boils over. His hired mercenary failed, so he decides to take matters into his own hands with a direct nocturnal confrontation. Under the cover of darkness, Haradoyal and his wife sneak out. They plan to just chop the banyan tree down themselves, sending the girls plunging into the flood. But they make a massive, and I mean massive, tactical error, assuming the monkeys will be asleep and completely harmless at night. The second the axe hits the wood, those fiercely loyal monkeys wake up, and they violently attack Haradoyal and his wife, sending them running for their lives. It is an immediate, incredibly satisfying dose of karmic retribution.
Let's see how this builds into formal justice with some swift action taken the very next morning. Event 1. Babu, the strict and impartial village head, discovers the whole plot. Event 2. Nathu, who is absolutely terrified of the monkeys and the village head, confesses to taking Haradoyal's bribe. Event 3. Nathu gets banished from the village forever for his role in all this. Event 4. Haradoyal is summoned and ordered to pay massive reparations to the girls he actively tried to kill.
15. That is the exact number of days the village head gives Haradoyal to pay for a brand new, concrete pucca kitchen for the sisters and to completely fund the rebuilding of their flooded home. If those 15 days pass and the work isn't done, Haradoyal himself will be banished from the village.
Let's summarize the core takeaways from the whole explainer today. The moral of the Monsoon is super clear. First off, compassion and kindness can defeat even weaponized cruelty, just like a hot plate of food tamed those angry monkeys. Second, greed and malice invite inevitable punishment. Haradoyal's massive wealth ultimately ended up funding the very people he despised. And finally, true self-reliance commands societal respect. The sisters, who now joyfully feed the village from their brand new kitchen, earned their dignity not by begging for it, but by building their own salvation right there in the branches of a banyan tree.
I want to leave you with this final, really provocative thought. If you were stripped of absolutely everything in a storm, whether literal or metaphorical, would you let bitterness and societal rejection take over, or would you find a way to build your own kitchen in a tree? It's a really powerful question about our own personal resilience. Thank you so much for joining me to unpack this incredible story. Keep learning, keep building, and I will see you in the next explainer.